The ballroom fell into complete silence the moment Nathan Walker let go of the glittering engagement ring that everyone believed belonged on Victoria Collins' finger. Hundreds of wealthy guests stared in disbelief as he slowly walked past the woman his family had chosen for him. Crystal chandeliers reflected the shock on every face. Reporters lowered their cameras for a second, unable to believe what they were witnessing. Then, to everyone's astonishment, Nathan crossed the luxurious hall and stopped in front of a frightened delivery girl still wearing her work uniform, her motorcycle helmet trembling in her hands. Tears rolled down her face as she tried to apologize for entering the wrong room, but Nathan gently reached for her hand instead. That single moment shattered every expectation anyone had ever placed upon him. Before we continue this unforgettable journey, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment telling us if you believe kindness is more valuable than wealth, share this story with someone who still believes true love exists, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories that touch the heart. The story began months before that unforgettable evening in Chicago, Illinois. Nathan Walker was the only son of one of America's most influential business families. His father owned luxury hotels across the United States, and everyone assumed Nathan would someday inherit the empire. Handsome, intelligent, and successful before turning 30, he seemed to have everything money could buy. Yet beneath his perfect appearance lived a man exhausted by expectations. Every decision he made had already been planned by someone else. Even his future marriage had been arranged long before he was ready. Victoria Collins came from another billionaire family. Elegant, beautiful, and ambitious, she represented everything Nathan's parents wanted in a daughter-in-law. Society magazines constantly published stories predicting their lavish wedding. Investors celebrated the future merger of two powerful business empires. Everyone smiled whenever they appeared together, but only Nathan understood how empty those smiles truly were. Their relationship was built on appearances rather than affection. Every conversation revolved around money, status, business opportunities, and public image. Nathan often wondered if anyone actually cared whether he was happy. Across the city lived Grace Turner, a 24-year-old delivery driver who worked 12-hour shifts every day just to keep her tiny apartment and pay for her younger brother Caleb's medical treatments. After losing both parents in a tragic highway accident years earlier, Grace had sacrificed her own dreams of attending college so Caleb could continue fighting a chronic heart condition. She rarely bought new clothes, skipped meals whenever money became tight, and quietly accepted every hardship life placed before her. Despite everything she had endured, she still greeted every customer with kindness, believing that no amount of suffering should take away someone's ability to be compassionate. One rainy afternoon, Nathan left a business meeting feeling completely defeated after another argument with his father. As heavy rain poured over downtown Chicago, he noticed a young delivery driver kneeling beside her motorcycle. One of the tires had burst, and soaked grocery bags lay scattered across the sidewalk while impatient pedestrians walked around her without offering help. Nathan removed his expensive jacket, knelt beside her, and helped gather every fallen item before helping replace the damaged tire. Grace repeatedly thanked him without realizing he was the billionaire whose face often appeared on television. Nathan appreciated that she treated him like an ordinary stranger instead of someone powerful. That unexpected encounter remained in Nathan's thoughts for weeks. Soon, their paths crossed again through coincidence. Sometimes Grace delivered food to his office building. Other times Nathan intentionally ordered meals simply because he hoped she might be assigned the delivery. Their conversations remained short but genuine. Grace spoke proudly about Caleb's progress despite their financial struggles. Nathan found himself smiling more during those brief conversations than during any elegant dinner with Victoria. For the first time in years, someone cared about his feelings instead of his fortune. Meanwhile, Victoria noticed Nathan becoming emotionally distant. She believed expensive vacations, luxury gifts, and glamorous events could solve every problem. Instead of asking why he seemed unhappy, she focused on protecting their public image. She reminded him constantly of family expectations and the billions their marriage would unite. Nathan slowly realized that she loved the future they represented together rather than the man standing beside her. One freezing winter evening, Grace received heartbreaking news. Caleb urgently needed another surgery that insurance refused to fully cover. The remaining hospital bill seemed impossible to pay. Rather than asking strangers for help, Grace accepted extra delivery shifts, often working until after midnight. Exhaustion became her constant companion, yet she never complained. Nathan accidentally discovered the truth when he delivered some forgotten documents to the hospital and saw Grace quietly crying outside Caleb's room after speaking with doctors. She quickly wiped away her tears before entering the room with another reassuring smile for her younger brother. Nathan watched from a distance, deeply moved by her strength. Without revealing his identity, he anonymously paid the remaining medical expenses through the hospital foundation. Grace never learned who had saved Caleb's life, believing instead that an anonymous donor simply believed in kindness. Months passed, and Nathan found himself questioning every part of the life planned for him. Wealth had surrounded him since childhood, yet genuine love had always remained beyond reach. Grace possessed almost nothing financially, but her heart overflowed with generosity, courage, and selflessness. She inspired everyone around her without ever seeking recognition. Eventually Nathan confessed everything. He admitted he was the heir to one of America's largest hotel companies and that he had secretly covered Caleb's surgery. Grace stood speechless, hurt not because he was wealthy but because he had hidden the truth. She feared people would accuse her of chasing his fortune. Determined to protect her dignity, she ended their friendship despite loving him deeply. Nathan respected her decision but refused to surrender. Instead of sending flowers or expensive gifts, he volunteered every weekend at the same community center where Grace helped low-income families receive free meals. Wearing ordinary clothes, he spent hours serving food, cleaning tables, and listening to struggling families. Slowly Grace realized that Nathan's compassion had nothing to do with money. He genuinely wanted to become a better man. When Nathan finally informed his parents that he would never marry Victoria, chaos erupted. His father threatened to remove him from the family business. Investors warned billions of dollars could disappear overnight. Newspapers published cruel headlines accusing Grace of manipulating a billionaire. Social media mocked her appearance, her job, and her background. Through every insult, Grace remained silent, refusing to defend herself publicly. She believed truth would eventually reveal itself. Then came the grand charity gala where Nathan's family planned to announce his engagement despite his objections. Victoria confidently stood before hundreds of influential guests wearing a sparkling diamond necklace, convinced everything would unfold exactly as expected. At that exact moment Grace arrived with a simple food delivery addressed to one of the event organizers. Security initially tried forcing her outside, but Nathan saw her standing near the entrance. The ballroom watched in stunned silence as Nathan rejected the carefully prepared engagement ring. Walking across the room, he gently took Grace's trembling hand before everyone present. He explained that true love could never be purchased, negotiated, or inherited. He admitted that the richest person he had ever met owned neither luxury cars nor designer dresses but possessed a heart capable of sacrificing everything for family. He declared that kindness had taught him more than privilege ever could. Some guests laughed. Others applauded through tears. Nathan's father walked away in anger, unable to accept his son's decision. Victoria quietly removed her own ring before leaving the ballroom forever, finally realizing that love without sincerity could never survive. Life after that evening was far from easy. Nathan lost his executive position within the family company and started a much smaller hospitality business from the ground up. Grace continued working while helping him build their dream together. They faced financial uncertainty, endless criticism, and countless obstacles, yet every challenge only strengthened their relationship. Years later, their company became successful not because of luxury but because it treated every employee with dignity. Delivery drivers received free meals. Single parents received flexible schedules. Workers struggling with medical emergencies found financial assistance. Nathan never forgot where true wealth had first entered his life. Caleb eventually recovered completely and graduated from college with honors. Grace finally pursued the education she had postponed for years. Nathan reconciled with his aging father after the older man witnessed how much happier his son had become. The man who once measured success only by billions finally understood that peace of heart was life's greatest fortune. If this story has touched your heart so far, please like this video, share it with your family and friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment to encourage others who may be losing hope in true love and kindness. Special request: before this story ends, tell us in the comments, would you choose true love over wealth if you had to make the same decision? Nathan and Grace's journey reminded everyone that the most valuable treasures cannot be stored inside bank accounts or displayed in luxury mansions. They are found in sacrifice, compassion, loyalty, and the courage to choose love even when the entire world expects something else. On the night everyone believed a billionaire would marry a queen of high society, he instead chose the woman whose greatest wealth had always been her heart. And in doing so, he discovered that the happiest life is not built by following the expectations of others, but by following the quiet voice of love that never measures a person's worth by the size of their wallet.